In your view, what is a recession?
Well, in a recession,
It's economically challenging for people to buy stuff.
The economy going down.
A recession is when the economy fails to grow for 2 or more consecutive quarters within a fiscal year.
That last one almost got it. Harris, what's your understanding of a recession?
Let's look it up. So it says some economists define a recession as 2 consecutive quarters of decline in a country's economic growth.
What does that really mean? I'm Willa.
And I'm Harris. Let's get back to basics.
Sometimes a recession is triggered by something that happens with the stock market or in the business world that scares consumers, something that makes people hang on to their money instead of spending it.
As consumers start buying less stuff, companies have to cut back on their output. And if companies are cutting back on production and not selling as much, eventually they'll have to lay off workers.
Right, and if people are unemployed, they typically stop spending on all but the most essential things, like food and rent. So to determine if a recession is taking place, economists look at personal income, how much money people are taking home in their paycheck, industrial production, how much the country's mines, factories, and utilities are producing, and wholesale and retail sales. If all these numbers are weakening, you're probably in a recession.
So what we really have with the recession is a vicious cycle. As more jobs are lost, people consume less. The less people consume, more jobs are lost.
Now, recessions happen on a regular basis. Some people may wonder why the government doesn't do more to stop them.
Well, recessions do cause pain, but economists think that they're a natural part of the business cycle, like the ebb and flow of the tide. During an expansion, consumer spending is growing, especially for big-ticket items. When a recession happens, sales of consumer products begins to fall. Eventually, the recession ends after this activity hits a low point and begins to pick up again. Now, some recessions do last longer than others, particularly those accompanied by financial crisis.
So, if people are feeling a lot of pain, the government does have tools it can use to stop a recession, like fiscal policy or monetary policy. Or it can simply let the invisible hand of the market work things out. But how do we really know when a recession has ended?
Well, you'd start to see factory production go up, as companies and consumers start to buy big-ticket items again. Eventually, employment would pick up too. And with more people employed, retail sales would go up.
But we don't know exactly in real time when a recession has ended. Economists only know after the fact, when they have all the data.
Well, as far as we're concerned, the recession's over when we all have a little spare cash again.